Hi, you guys, it's me. I'm back again. I am in Italy because I've been in Italy for over a month now, and I wanted to do a video on what happened to me when I first got into Italy. And if you have been following me, you know that I have this thing for pizza, and I'm in the land of pizza. So, how am I handling my time here in Italy? So I wanted to give you guys, tell you guys an incident that happened. When I first got into Italy, I actually landed up in Florence, and I was spending some time in Florence. And then I took a day trip up to a place called Cinque Terre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a complete tourist attraction. And basically what it means is five lands. So these are these five towns that are on the Mediterranean coast of Italy. And they're just absolutely beautiful there. And so it's just packed with tourists. And, you know, a place that's packed with tourists in Italy is going to have what? Yep, pizza. So I spent like the whole day in Cinque Terre, five lands, and went from one town to another town to another town, and it was just packed with tourists and packed with tourists having pizzas. And it was just like the full day, and it was just full on like pizza everywhere. And I look and the smell of pizza, and I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, you know, in the beginning, I was like trying to ignore it. I'm like, okay, let's look the other way, whatever. And smell is there. Okay, let's just look the other way. And I was trying to say, okay, it's not affecting me. It's not affecting me. But you know what? The whole day I tried to say it's not affecting me. And you know, it's not like I could even taste the pizza because it would have onion in it and dairy in it. So that wasn't even an option for me to taste it and spit it out. So I was like, oh God, this is horrible, right? And it was just the whole day of it being, I'm being bombarded with pizza everywhere around me. And then I went back home, and my inner child was very upset. It was like, I want pizza. And I was like, okay, no. So now I have this relationship with my inner child. I'm like, okay, you know, just, okay, I know you want pizza. So, but we can't have pizza. So what are we going to do? And it says, but I want pizza. And I was like, telling my inner child, I was like, okay, you know what? Why don't I make a soup that has all the flavorings of a pizza, kind of, you know, and maybe that'll appease you and that'll be okay. And so I went and I mean, they had I was staying at Airbnb, and they had like this can of tomatoes or whatever, and then had some seasoning and all that. And I was like, okay. And then I got some fresh tomatoes, and I just put it in, and I made this soup type thing. And I said, okay, see, there's like, it tastes kind of like pizza, doesn't it? And it was like, mm, and oh yeah, and I got some dried tomatoes as well, and I kind of put it in there and made it like, you know, nice and tasty and all that. And my inner child was like, okay, that's fine, but and it was like, no, but I want to go to a restaurant, because I hadn't been to a restaurant in a while. It's like, no, but I want to go to a restaurant and order food and sit, and I want to eat. And I was like, oh, okay. So this soup thing is not going to do for you. And it's like, no, I want to go to a restaurant, and I want to do what everyone else is doing. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to order something, and I'm going to eat. And I was like, oh, okay, so let me see what I can do. So here I am. I'm like, okay, vegan restaurants, and I'm in Florence now because I was staying in Florence for about 10 days. So I was in Florence, and I was like, okay, vegan restaurants, looking, and I'm like, okay, vegan. And I didn't really find any restaurants with vegan pizza in it. But I did find a restaurant that had vegan Chinese food, believe it or not, in Florence. I was like, and it had great reviews. I was like, okay, vegan Chinese food. So that might do it, because if it's a Chinese restaurant that serves vegan food, then they may know about like no onion and garlic. And so I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And then what happened the next day morning, because I couldn't go that night because it was kind of late. So the next day morning, I went there before they opened, and I kind of sat outside, and then they opened. As soon as they opened, I went inside, and I asked them. I said, they didn't speak any English, so of course I have Google Maps, Google Translate. So I said, can you serve food without onion or garlic? And they're like, oh yeah, okay, onion, garlic. And then I say, yeah, we can serve without onion, garlic. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, okay, what can you give me that doesn't have onion, garlic? And then she went down the list and she says this thing. And it was like kind of a soupy, kind of a gravy thing that had tofu in it and some vegetables in it. And so I was like, okay, that will do. And then of course, then memories of me having, because I hadn't been to a Chinese restaurant God knows how long, in ages, right? And so there was memories of, because I used to love dumplings, right? And so I was like, oh, dumplings are really good. And then when I ordered that, she looked at me like, that's it. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to order something else. So I looked at the dumpling thing and I was like, okay. I said, can you make the dumplings without onion and garlic? And she's like, yeah. And so I said, okay, perfect. So then I got the dumplings and I got this gravy thing. And I was like, and I was like, and my inner child was so happy and just waiting for the food to come. And it was like, ah. And so anyways, the soup thing came and then the dumplings came. And so then I was having it and it was just, I was just in heaven. My inner child was in heaven. It's like, actually, we're sitting down here in this restaurant and we're actually being like normal people having like normal food, and, and it was just this feeling of happiness that my inner child was feeling. And I was like, okay, yes, we're here. Now enjoy. And so I was like, having this soup or this gravy that they had made. And then they were like these vegetables, like what was it, like capsicum or bell peppers, as you call it in the US. And so I would suck on the bell pepper and because bell pepper has a lot of juice in it, so I suck the juice out of it and then spit the fiber out. And I was like, okay. And I was doing all that and I realized that, what, tofu is not really something good to suck on because there's no, like, it didn't really, it's just kind of like this, nothing came out of the tofu. But if you suck on the vegetable, like juice does come out of it, like its own juice comes out of it. The tofu is like, okay. So so I really enjoyed it. My inner child enjoyed this gravy type dish that came out. And then the dumpling was there. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Oh, okay. By the way, I was prepared for this whole restaurant. And so I had my little spitty cup that I take with me. It's like this disposable, I keep mentioning it to you guys, but I don't show it to you guys, but I don't know where it is. But anyways, I have this disposable cup that it collapses. So then I just took it out of my bag and I kind of held it like, and put it like underneath the table. And so whenever I would have it and I need to spit something else, I would just take the cup and just spit it out and put it right back underneath the table where it belonged. And so no one really knew what I was doing. And so anyways, I finished that and then the dumplings came. Now the dumplings are basically, I can't really have that because there's no like gravy in it. There's no liquid in it per se. So that was for the taste. And the only liquid was a soy sauce. I dipped in the soy sauce and just kind of sucked, and it had some vegetables in it. So I just kind of sucked the juice out of the vegetables and then the soy sauce, and then I spat it out. So before the end of the whole adventure, I had my whole spitty cup completely packed, and I was like, oh my God. And I was kind of pushing it in a little bit more because I was like, oh my God, there's all this stuff and there's no room. So I kind of just like, push the whatever I spat out further into the cup. So I have more room because I didn't want to just waste all this. I'm like, no, I'm going to taste it and then go. And I didn't want to take it to go or anything like that. So I just wanted to finish it there. So anyway, so I finished it all. And I had also ordered this, I don't know, they had this kind of a drink over there. So I also ordered that and they gave that to me to go. It was like this ice cold drink. It was so hot in Florence. It's like almost 100 degrees, right? So anyways, I sat and I enjoyed all that I ordered. And I was like, this complete sense of satisfaction came over me, and my inner child was jumping for joy because we went to a restaurant and we sat down and we ordered and we had, and it was just so happy, and my inner child was so happy and I was so happy that at least, like, it's not like I was depriving my inner child of this. It's like, okay, we're all happy, you're happy, I'm happy, my stomach is happy, and I'm happy on my journey. So it was a really amazing time that I had at the restaurant. And then I was going to leave Florence in a few days. And I told my inner child, I said, you know what, we can still go back to that restaurant if you want, if you still have this craving for wanting to sit down in a restaurant and have something. And so I said, no, I don't need to. My inner child said, no, that's fine. I don't need to go. I was like, okay. And then again, I would check in and say, are you sure you don't want to go back to that restaurant? I mean, we could order something else and you can really indulge and taste it and all that. And, have the feeling of sitting down and ordering something. And I was like, no. And it just kept saying no. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? I was happy because, I didn't deprive my inner child of what it wanted. And when I gave it what it wanted, it was happy. And then I can progress on my path and on my journey because it's not like I was depriving it. I just kind of gave it and it was then happy. And then it didn't want to keep going to restaurants and, and ordering things and spitting it out and all that stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to tell you guys that my inner child was happy. I was happy. My stomach was happy. And I think the restaurant's happy because they got my business. And so the moral of the story is not to come out of a place of deprivation. If you really feel like having something, this journey is not about depriving. And so I've always known that. And that's why I'm very gentle with my inner child. It's like it wants it. So I'm like, okay, what can we do? And like, I actually have a dialogue with it. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? What can we do? I know you're feeling like, I know we went to that Thailand place and I was bombarded with pizza everywhere. And so it's like I'm only human, and my inner child is my inner child, and it was feeling deprived. So I felt like, okay, here we go. Let's just not come out of deprivation. Here is your Chinese food. It was really happy with it, and then I made that tomatoey kind of a saucy soup type thing. And was happy with it, and then it didn't really need anything after that. So anyways, I've been in Rome. I mean, I've been in Italy for over a month, and I haven't had this need to go to a restaurant. I haven't had this need to have pizza. I haven't had the need to have any of that stuff. So every now and then, if I do feel like, you know what, maybe they have the best sun-dried tomatoes here. And so and they have the really good tomatoes here. So I have been making like sun-dried tomato soup for myself, and it has satisfied any cravings I've had for pizza or anything. So it's working out really well. So when in Rome, do as Romans do, have their sun-dried tomatoes. There are amazing sun-dried tomatoes here, and their tomatoes are amazing. So anyways, I've been really enjoying my time here in Rome, and I am off to California, back to California in a week. And so anyways, I have like another week here. So I've been really enjoying my time here. I joined a gym, going to the gym every day, almost every day, because they seem to be closed on weekends. So I go like Monday through Friday, I go to the gym and just, just enjoying my time here, doing all the sightseeing. There's just so many things to see here in Rome. So I've spent my summer in Europe, and so my summer is coming to an end, and I'll be going back to California to visit family and friends, and it's going to be very interesting. So I'll do some more videos when I'm back in California. But anyways, just wanted to let you guys know about my experience being in the land of pizza and the person who I am, who has this craving for pizza every now and then, and grew up like loving pizza. So anyways, just wanted to let you guys know how I handled my craving for pizza while I was here in the land of pizza. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.